yentu ohina akonwa so ensane emfa no ensanfa no be si akonwa so eye no me. Another one spiritually is that this sword that we hold, that the presidents hold to swear the oath of office. Pastor, spiritually, you can hold it only twice. Jerry Rawlings held it twice, 92, 96. President Kufuor held it twice, 2000, 2004. President Mills held it once, he died, he left. John Mahama, on the 9th of 24th July, 2012, you held the sword of state and you swore an oath. On the 7th of January 2013, you held the sword of state and swore an oath. You held it twice. Why do you want to hold it 3 times and be a curse upon the country? He cannot. Nana Addo has held it twice. He can't hold it the 3rd time. Why does John Mahama think that Ghana was created for him and that he will come and mess the nation up spiritually and physically? It won't happen. It cannot happen.
Because you are a former president, will still pay you pensions and give you protection and take care of you as long as you respect those who came after you. You have to ensure that democracy matures in such a manner in Africa, where the previous president does not make it his business to fight the current president. You must allow the new to lead with all their faults because you are the same. It doesn't mean you are perfect. The young ones who are coming after you will challenge the current one. No African leader who is on retirement should lead from the grave. They must all be like all other progressive former presidents who are statesmen at home waiting for courtesy visits and consultation and attending to honor state functions. Those are the duties of former presidents, because Africa must be stable. Africa must go through democracy at all times. And elections in Africa should never mean the blood on the floor. We Africans must hate seeing our own blood.
Sanwe Juma Kamfu Osora Bofo Sorry Wo Ahotilfo Retojum Se Shiranka Udi Shiranka Udi Sanwe Juma Kamfu Sora Bofo Sorry Wo Ahotilfo Retojum Se Shiranka Udi Shiranka Udi Ahotilfo Retojum Se Shiranka Udi Shiranka Udi. The last one. Sadwe Juma Kamfu Sora Bofo Sorry Wo Ahotilfo Retojum Se Shiranka Udi Shiranka Udi. So Amen. I hope those laughing at my voice does not include Arsenal supporters. I sincerely hope so. But later tonight we'll be talking about the football, the Champions League and the English Premier League that's happening this weekend. Tonight, though, we have a big story to share with you. it's about politics, and it's about the latest on the MPP running mate situation. That's coming up. We have the latest, the final latest on the MPP running mate situation. Then we're also going to discuss a campaign situation for the NDC and MPP. We're going to show why, what kind of hurdle the MPP must overcome in this campaign to be able to give them a reasonable chance of winning. We'll talk about the NDC as well, but we're going to give a very important narrative. Now, this research we've been looking at and studying it for a while. We have located the problem that the MPP has to overcome if they have to win the election. And we have located the problem that the NDC has to overcome if they have to win the election. Both problems are situated in communication, and the solutions thereof are also in communication. So we're going to have a communication lesson tonight. You can disagree or agree with us, but do watch it when the time comes, and then you tell us what to do. This is Good Evening Ghana is live. Later on, our sports presenter, and I hear that it's very popular on social media. We thank God for that. Our sports presenter is going to come up to tell us, why did Arsenal lose last night? I was quite impressed, though, with the play that Arsenal rendered at the Allianz Arena. It looked like they were going to be heavy hit, but it didn't turn out that way. Bayern Munich had to struggle to get an eventual goal, but the spirit of the Bavarians eventually won the day. Arsenal certainly were of low spirits when they went there, having been so badly beaten by Ole Watkins and Aston Villa at the Emirates last Sunday. Whatever it is, however it looks like, Arsenal and Manchester City, both of the last English Premier League teams in the Champions League, are now out. It's going to be Real Madrid with Jude Bellingham, and Bayern Munich with Harry Kane and Kylian Mbappe, and PSG and Dortmund who get into the semi-finals. And so what's your final prediction? I think Real Madrid will be there. I think Jude Bellingham deserves to lift the Champions League. And I think at 20 years, Jude Bellingham deserves the Ballon d'Or. But we'll talk about that when the time comes. And then we have in the studio another interesting matter. There's a lawyer in the studio tonight. And why is he here? He's here because he's written a book. He's making a very, very strong contention about corruption and corruption-related offenses. He's looking at the Office of the Special Prosecutor, and he's making some predictions in the book, and also some prescriptions for how Ghana can overcome corruption if we have to look at it. He thinks that the way we are going about it is wrong. He's in the studio. He'll be coming to talk to us about his book, his thesis, and his theory, and then we can share that. It's quite a loaded program, isn't it? Good evening. Welcome to the show. I begin, though, with a young lady here. What's your name, madam?
My name is Ajwa Timaiwa.
Ajwa Timaiwa is coming to us from the United Kingdom. What are you doing in the United Kingdom?
The United Kingdom, from Germany.
Oh, it's Germany.
It's
Sorry, I was told it's Germany.
Yeah.
What are you doing in Germany?
I live in Germany. I was born in Ghana. I moved to Germany when I was like 11. And since then, I've been living in Germany. So I fully live in Germany.
Guten Morgen, guten Tag.
Guten Abend. It's evening now.
What?
Guten Abend.
I've not heard that before.
Guten Abend. Abend.
That's evening.
That's evening.
Tag
exactly.
is what? Afternoon.
Afternoon, exactly.
And Morgen is morning.
Morgen is morning, exactly. You are good. Yeah, no.
Well, not quite. Yeah.
Exactly. So yeah, currently I am a master's student. I study clinical psychology and psychotherapy at the university in Bochum. I used to study in Munich. I did my bachelor's in Munich, and now I'm doing my master's in Bochum.
You did a first master's in Munich?
My bachelor's.
Your bachelor's in Munich. What did you study?
Psychology.
Did you study it in German language?
Yes, I speak fluent German.
And you speak English as well?
Yes.
But you left Ghana when you were 11?
Yes, exactly.
So it is the English from age 11 that you still have, or you have
yes,
added onto it?
my English from age 11 plus a bit of German English in school.
Yeah. I see. So say, good evening, welcome to Good Evening Ghana in German, let's see.
Guten Abend, herzlich willkommen zu Guten Abend Ghana.
Huh? say it again.
Guten Abend, herzlich willkommen zu Guten Abend Ghana.
No, but we won't let you bully us. Look, Antoinette, please say it in Chinese. Antoinette, say it in Chinese. She thinks that she can come and talk German. No, we won't let you bully us. Antoinette, Chinese. Hello, good evening, welcome to Good Evening Ghana. Deal with it.
好的，你好，你们好，欢迎来到晚上好江南的这个精彩获奖的电视节目上面。
You see now we are there. Anyway, this your project is very noble.
Yes.
Trying to raise money to have young girls get educated. Tell us about it.
So in 2021, when I was 19, I think, roughly 19, I started a project called YMF Ghana in Long Year 4. And what we do is we help underprivileged young girls go through junior high school and then through senior high school as well. So currently we have our first batch of about 15 girls who have gone through our program. So we have a scholarship scheme. And what we do is we call it education, experience, and exposure. So we help them with all their financial needs when it comes to their education. and then we give them experiences. So we went to the mall last summer, we went to the Independence Square. These girls come from very, very rural areas, so coming to Accra in of itself was always a big thing for them, and then doing these fun stuff.
Where do you find them?
Where do I find them? I do scouting. I go to schools. Some people reach out to me, and some man reached out to me from Gomwa, for instance, and then we have our girls.
What's this photograph?
This photograph, when we went to Independence Square.
Oh, okay. All right.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
And that's you over there?
That's me right there.
What are you teaching them?
This is our workshop program. What was I teaching them? We're doing vision boards.
Okay.
We're teaching them how to lay down their visions, how to write down SMART goals, and how to achieve them.
So you raise the money and pay their school fees?
Well, I do not pay their school fees. I meet the needs that they currently have. So we ask them specifically what they need. Some people it's pocket money for food during school. For others, it's stationery. For others, it's maybe PTA fees or it's exam fees. So it's different. It depends on which girl and what they currently need. We believe that we work together with them. We don't just decide from above what they need. We work together with them and ask them what they need, and then we provide it for them. Exactly.
So where do you get the money from?
Where do I get the money from? We won at a competition in 2022 in Germany. That got us one big sponsor. So with that sponsor, we were a team of five girls in Germany who run this.
All Ghanaian girls?
All Ghanaian girls.
Oh, I see.
Born in Germany, but Ghanaian girls. And I'm the founder, and we have a team of 5 girls. And we do the fundraising. So we do fundraising in schools. We do fundraising with the competition that I spoke about that we won. And we do fundraising in Ghana as well. So yeah, we're trying to appeal to companies, anyone who is interested in supporting our cause. Exactly.
So when the money is given to you, then you use it for what? So if somebody will support the cause and says, here's 1,000 CDs, what do you do with it?
What I do with the 1,000? So if someone says it's 1,000 CDs, if it's summer, then it means it's our summer camp. That's the picture that you saw right there. It's a summer camp. So the money goes into the summer camp preparations. We went to the mall to watch a movie at Silverbed. Silverbed did a cooperation with us, and they gave us half price for the tickets. So
you took the girls to watch a movie?
Yeah, we went.
What are you getting out of that? Why are you showing them a movie?
Because I believe that they are young girls, like 16, and certain experiences that I had with 16, they could only dream of because of where they come from. And given
certain experiences you had
at 16. Exactly.
They cannot afford it.
They cannot afford it.
Okay.
And giving them these experiences, it might seem trivial, like going to watch a movie at the mall, but for them, it opens their eye to a different life. It opens their eye to what they can achieve if they really work hard with their education, and it gives them something more than just their village. And that's what we're trying to,
I see. So you put them in a bus, bring them from, say, Amasaman, and take them
Gomwa, Akuni, Pram, Achiase,
And you take them to Accra Mall to watch a movie.
Yeah,
and take them back home.
Yeah, we took them. So first, this is AIMS, Accra Institute of Management Science. We work with them closely. They give us the room for the workshops for free. We're very thankful and grateful for their cooperation. So we do the vision board, the SMART goals. I think last time we did how to study effectively, different workshops. After the workshops, we do a trip. So last time we went to Independence Square. This last year, we went to the mall, and then we went to Delish to have lunch.
You represent what looks like the best of... and girls, please get ready and ask her one question if there is. Okay. You represent what looks like the best of the African youth who are looking at the next epoch of changing the narrative about Africa and all of that. Let me ask you, how do you see the future for girls like you and younger in Ghana, in Africa, towards the world?
I hope that a time will come where education for girls, especially, that it's not a privilege, it's the norm. I wish that a time will come, and it sounds very idealistic, I know, but I wish a time will come where African girls can be on the same level as European girls, and that the world will see them as such, because they have so much potential, but then it gets hidden, it gets stuck in all like poverty, life's realities and stuff. So my wish is that we could compare them to European girls, we could put them on the same pedestal, and they could achieve, I think, even more sometimes.
I see. So you look at the future with optimism.
I do, I really do.
How did they say optimism in German?
Optimismus.
Optimismus.
Exactly, optimismus.
Antoinette, how did they say optimism in Chinese?
有好意思性，
Ni hao.
有好意思性。
No, how is she? Do you have any questions for her? Any contribution? Any of you want to say something? Anziba, you just all wish her well? Or are you getting some text messages for her?
A few comments.
Let's hear one or two of them.
Okay.
So,
Tracy here says, wow, this is a very good initiative. She loves it. Okay, we have Junior Abaka from Tamale saying, this woman is doing a great job for the poor people of Ghana. She should keep it up.
Yeah, Yuanchi Tracy still says, what you're doing isn't trivial. You have such a beautiful mindset and a very beautiful initiative. So keep it up.
Oh, lovely. Okay, let me get on the touch screen now and see what we got. Okay, these are some of her photographs. Okay, excellent. Now, should we take a break? Maybe. Yeah, maybe we should before we sort of get into the... Okay, thank you, my darling. We'll take a short break. You can remain with us and enjoy the show, or you can go and have a drink, and then we wish you well. I'll make a contribution to your NGO after the show.
I'll be waiting.
Yeah, I will make the contribution. Viewers, we're going to have a lot of fire after the break. There's a lot of politics coming in the sport. Dodu from Isiakwa is in the studio. So when I went in, Dodu was there, and Dodu knows my relationship with Shatta Wale. He knows. So he said, "Oh, boss, I want to say something today." I said, Dodu, today what we're going to do is that you are my co-presenter. So we're going to talk about sports, you talk about it. We're going to talk about politics, you talk about it. And then when I'm doing the interviews, then you sit aside and I finish the interviews. You say, yeah, but there's something I want to say. I said, what? He said, I want to say something about what Shatta said about Stonebwoy. I said, what do you want to say? He said, oh, the disabled thing. I said, oh, Dodu, the matter is dead. Shatta too is my man. After the break, Good Evening Ghana is still live. We'll be right back. Welcome to the show, and we got a lot to do today. I'm going to take you through the first. I was talking about election year, politics, communication, and all of that. Now, I'm going to explain the communication hurdle that the MPP need to overcome if they have to do reasonably well in this election. And I'll explain the communication hurdle that the NDC need to overcome. If this is too long, I'll do the NDC one in the next edition, but I'm going to start with the MPP because they are the ruling party, so they are advanced, they are leading. From the last election, they are coming from 52, is it 52, 51 point something of the votes. And so that's where I'm starting from. What is the New Patriotic Party's problem that they have to overcome in this election? Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo is here. John Dramani Mahama is here. As I go on with the analysis, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo's photograph will metamorphose into that of Alhaji Mahamadou Bawumia, whilst John Dramani Mahama will remain as it is. Okay, now let's get started. Let's give me the screen. So the problem that the MPP needs to overcome, please wake them up. Call all of the MPP communicators. And please tell Akosia Menu of Adenta that I'm talking about the problem the MPP needs to overcome. This is it. Okay, let me take my pen and come here. The MPP needs to overcome the relationship between reality. What do we use to represent relationship in mathematics? Is it? I've forgotten what it is. There's a symbol for it. But anyway, let me use this my own symbol. Reality and expectation. Expectation. So there's a reality and there's expectation. What am I talking about? When a human being, and then where the equation is going towards pursuit of happiness or arrival of happiness. Arrival of happiness. By happiness, I mean human happiness. So I'm talking social, etc., etc. The relationship between reality, expectation, and the arrival of happiness. Okay. How does this work? How does it work? For every human being, your expectation is available. Every human being has an expectation of something. And in politics, there are expectations. And people campaign and create expectations. And that's what you're expected to do. Every politician is expected to create expectations. So you have politicians who are not creating expectations. That's a problem. A politician must be bold enough to create expectations. And that's how people have been successful in politics. If you look at the most successful politicians in the history of the world, even Adolf Hitler, who was successful to a certain extent, Winston Churchill, Kwame Nkrumah of Ghana, all the people who have won elections, John Ajay Kufuor, you go to Nigeria, Tafawa Balewa, Nelson Mandela. The expectations that Nelson Mandela created in South Africa have still not been met. But that's what Mandela created. When Mandela was going to jail, he said that when he was asked to speak, when the sentence was passed in 1961, I believe, or so, 50-something, and the sentence for 27 years was passed, and Mandela was asked to say something. Normally, when you are sentenced in court, you have to say something to reduce the sentence or something like that. It's couched like that to reduce the sentence. Mandela said, and I still remember it from reading the documents in the political science. He said, I have fought against white domination and I have fought against black domination. I have cherished the ideal of a free and democratic society in which all people live together equally and at par. It is an ideal for which I hope to live for, but if needs be, it is an ideal for which I am prepared to die. These were the words of Nelson Mandela, and then he was sentenced to jail for 27 years. So Mandela's politics created significant expectation for the South African black man that a time was going to come that he would be at par with the white man, opportunities will be equal. 2024, Nelson Mandela died peacefully the other day. Still, the expectation of Nelson Mandela, the reality has not met the expectation that Nelson Mandela created. Does it mean Nelson Mandela is not a hero? No, Nelson Mandela is a significant hero celebrated across the world. Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, the Ghanaian president, created significant expectations. He said that we are going to do this to show that after all, the black man is capable of managing his own affairs. Nkrumah's expectation indicated to the black man that we're going to be in control of our resources, control of everything. That reality is still yet to be achieved. The expectation that Nkrumah created has not yet been achieved in terms of reality. And so, what am I saying? Does it mean Nkrumah is not a hero? Nkrumah is a hero. Let's get back to the politics now. Reality, expectation, and arrival of happiness. Election 2024. Okay. So what is the MPP's problem? What is the MPP's problem? Okay, let me clean this up and then move to the next photograph. And then I will emphasize better on the reality and the expectation. And then I show you the MPP's problem. No, let me go to the next one. And then I show you the MPP's problem. Let's go to the next one. Excellent. Viewers, have a look at this photograph. Okay. So on the left here is a plush restaurant where people go to eat. On the right here is our friend who is doing the thing we like, the suya and those things that we all like. That's him. Okay. Now, when you walk into this restaurant, the expectation of the food is at a certain level. When you come to Kofi Mensah Suya, or he's selling Kofi Brookman, or he's selling Gobe or something, the expectations is at another level. If you go to the restaurant to go and eat Chinese rice, and you are paying something high, significant amount of money, and you find that the food that you ate may be very good, but it was too small. And then you say that, hey, Charlie, these people, you come and pay 2,000, they give you some small rice. But the rice was good. The Chinese restaurant did not meet your expectation, because what you expected to get for paying 2,000 cedis in a Chinese restaurant is not what you got. But the rice was nice, or it was okay. But you expected it to be very, very, very good. So your expectation is not met here, you are not happy. You come to here, Kofi Brookman, your expectations are not that high. He is able to meet the expectation, or he misses the expectation by just a little bit. You see that your reality here in terms of the food in the Chinese restaurant that was not good may yet be better than what he's selling in terms of nutrition, quality, and all of that, because the restaurant, it may well be better than what he's selling. But if what he's selling has met your expectation, you will be happy with him and not be happy with the restaurant, even though the restaurant food is still better. The restaurant food that did not meet your expectation is still better than this one. I don't know whether I'm making myself clear. You go to eat at a restaurant, the food is not that good, you're not happy. You come here, your expectation is low, the thing is okay, it's fine. So sometimes we say, when I'm hungry, just give me gari and sugar, let me eat. Gari and sugar, I'm not expecting much. But if you say I should go and buy food from a restaurant and they bring the food and it's not great, that's different. The food from the restaurant may be better than the gari and sugar, but it still didn't meet my expectation. Okay, let's move on to another photograph of expectation. Let me show you. Football, this is excellent. So this is 1-0. And this is 1-1. How does a game end at 1-1 and some people are cheering this way when the game has ended at 1-1? Because the 1-1 has met their expectation. It's a drawn game, but it has met the expectation. The other person who is crying on the same 1-1, the 1-1 did not meet his expectation. So that's why the commentators will always say, Arsenal are celebrating as if they won. They got a draw from Manchester City. When the final whistle went to the Manchester City game between Arsenal were like, yeah, but that's a draw. Manchester City were like, oh, Jesus. It's 1-1. It's supposed to be a draw. But somebody is happy because his expectation was that he will lose. And then he draws. He's happy with it. So expectation and reality in politics is significant. Let's move on. There should be another photograph. Great. This family have received the Mercedes-Benz. Look at their face. They are not happy. The photograph on the left, they are not happy with the Mercedes-Benz. This one is an older car. They are happy. It is all about expectations. But when it comes to politics, it's very significant. Let me get me the place I'm writing, the document that I'm writing on again. All right. So let's look at MPP in terms of expectation. All right. So let me call Nana Akufo-Addo Nada. He is the leader of the MPP at the time, 2016 to 2024. Okay. Now, and let me put John Mahama here. John Mahama, president of Ghana, 2012 to, he was president 2013 to 2017, if you like, 17. All right. The expectation that Ghanaians had for John Dramani Mahama, over 100. Let's assume. Now, why is it what it is? It is what it is because the circumstances of John Mahama becoming president, the way it worked, Mills had died, he came in, all of that. The expectation on John Mahama, over 100, let's assume for the sake of argument, was say 50. That's expectation. Expectation. John Mahama, 50. Okay. At the end of the day, if you look at the results of 2016, it would appear that John Mahama was able to manage, in terms of the expectation, John Mahama took the people of Ghana to about 30. This is what happened in 2016. And then the people voted him out. Let's come to Nana Akufo-Addo. For Nana Akufo-Addo, expectation for him, because of everything that he had done with his life and everything that he has said, over 100, Akufo-Addo's expectation, you will make it 100. Then what happened? As we talk today, the Akufo-Addo situation, and I'm going to evidence all of that. And MPP, I'm talking to MPP people especially, and anybody who is interested in political communication. MPP communicated, this is what you need to overcome. Here, the 100% is the expectation on Akufo-Addo. Akufo-Addo was able to achieve 80 in terms of reality. And I'll show why I say 80, and I'll show why I say this is 30. So the Ghanaian reality has moved from 30 under John Mahama to 80 under Akufo-Addo. But Akufo-Addo's 80 is still short of the expectation. So the MPP communicators are going to be bullied. MPP, let me fix this flag. The MPP communicators are going to be bullied on the basis that you didn't meet the expectation. You said this, you said that, you said this, you said that, you said that, you didn't meet this. But the reality of Ghanaians has moved from 30 to 80. And it is important that the party that has this record be able to show that yes, the reality is 30 and our reality is 30, their reality is 80. The expectations of Ghanaians for 30 was 50. So they were not happy. The expectations for Ghanaians for 100 was 80. So the reality of the Ghanaian from Akufo-Addo to John Mahama, the difference is 50. Why do I say that? What is the evidence that the reality of the Ghanaian has changed? Look at the price of this. Look at the price of that. Look at petrol. Look at kinky. Why are you telling us the Ghanaian reality has changed? This is what it is. Reality has changed. Since Akufo-Addo became president, when he was campaigning, he said, I'm going to do one district, one factory. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that. One district, one factory was a campaign vote winner. How many districts are there in Ghana today? There are 200 and something. Over 200. How many factories has Akufo-Addo done? He's done about minimum. He's done about 92 factories. Now, moving Ghana from a zero policy on industrialization to a policy that produces 92 factories is still short of the 200 districts where he was going to put factories. But it is better than the 0 factories that were created here. And the people who created 0 factories are telling Ghanaians that he said he was going to create 200, he created only 92, votes them out. But how many did I create? 0. But the economic condition is difficult, and so people are going to be listening to that argument if you don't tell them the reality. I'm going to show you evidence. You heard Kwesi Pratt talking about free SHS. I'll show you what Kwesi Pratt said about free SHS. The conversation about forever in our lives as Ghanaians, especially those who are below average families and nuclear and bigger families, below average. The conversation has always been in September and in January, school fees. Members of parliament had been inundated all the time with people wanting school fees. The school fees conversation has been resolved by free SHS. That reality was not available to Ghanaians before. It's a better reality. It's a better prospect of life that you wake up and just go to school. You just go to Presec. Just go to Wesley Girls. Just go. You remember Miss Bell, who was a campaigner for the NDC in 2016 elections. In 2017, Miss Bell was on social media testifying that she took her son to Achimota. It is true. Free SHS works. That's a reality that John Mahama was unable to provide. But it was an expectation that was not on John Mahama. John Mahama was not expected to deliver free SHS. He didn't promise it, so nobody expected it. Akufo-Addo promised it, so people expected it. So people say that, Akufo-Addo says he's going to deliver free SHS. When you go to the schools, they are giving them food that is not good. 100 or 200, 300 schools are being fed every day. Day schools have had dining halls built for them. That reality is a better reality for Ghana. That's why the reality is now at 80. It's a better reality from Ghana than what existed before. But the NPP communications are being bullied because the petrol price is high. They are being bullied because the economic situation is high. But the reality of the Ghanaian, and I wish I could open phone lines on this. I want people to be very frank and brutal about this one. The reality of the Ghanaian is at 80. A Ghanaian should tell me that the reality of Ghana across board is worse today. It cannot be. Factories have been created. As for me, I always talk about one factory, Ekunfi Juice. It wasn't there. It wasn't there. The Takoradi port has been expanded, but there was already port. An inland port had never been created in Ashanti region. Today it is coming. And the hundreds and thousands of schools and things that have happened in agriculture, plenty of things have happened that have shifted the Ghanaians' reality from 30 to 80, but the expectation on the colossal Akufo-Addo politician was at 100. Why was the expectation at 100? The expectation was at 100 because of what Akufo-Addo had done with his life thus far before he became president, what he had done with his life, and the things that he said, and the things that the people knew that his team was able to do took the expectation high. Now, why was Akufo-Addo unable to meet the expectation of Ghanaians as we talk about 2024? I'll explain. Akufo-Addo became president in 2017. Between 2017 and 2020, he was able to meet the expectation. Between 2017 and 2020, the expectation was as it was. The reality met the expectation. Everyone was happy. The NDC in 2020's election were unable to campaign about economics. Their campaign was on Okada. That was the major message. If you look at all the analysis on social media about the 2020 campaign, the big headline ticket campaign of President Mahama was that he was going to legalize Okada. He was unable to talk about free SHS. He was unable to talk about the economic situation. At that time, Akufo-Addo's reality became the Akufo-Addo's expectation met the reality. Ghanaians were happy. Somehow, Akufo-Addo fell short of the expectation as a result of this. Play me the speech we talk about. This is the speech. This is why the expectations were lost in 2021. Have a look.
As we have demonstrated over the course of the last 3 years, where we inherited an economy that was growing at 3.4% and transformed it into one which has grown by an average of 7% over the last 3 years, I assure you that we know what to do to bring back our economy back to life. What we do not know is how to bring people back to life. We will therefore protect people's lives, then their livelihoods. As we have demonstrated over the course.
You heard that? he went to the history. He said, as we have done over the last 3-4 years, we have transformed the system. We have met the expectation. But here we are, we have something confronting us. And we might not be able to meet the expectation going forward. That's what it was all about. And the NPP communicators must be clear and careful. Otherwise, this is going to overwhelm them. And Ghana will be the worst for it. And Ghanaians must look at it fairly and squarely. You are about to elect 2 people. One's a reality is Ghana at 30. Another reality is 80. 80 doesn't meet the expectation. It doesn't. Because of what happened in the intervening years of 2020 and 2021. Because no analysis, anybody should challenge it. No analysis anywhere in the world shows that the MPP's government did a bad job between 2017 and 2020. Zero. IEA, Imani, nobody can show us. Nobody. It's not there. It's not available. If you look at the figures 17, 18, 19, 20, there was even no complaint about anything. Graduate Unemployment Association was dissolved. NACOP was given. Yes, their salary is delayed, but the thinking behind creating NACOP, all of that took the reality that you finish university, you don't have a job. It had never happened in Ghana. You finish university, you don't have a job. You're on your own. You and your father and your mother, go and find a job for yourselves. It's up to you. You have some uncle administrator, go and see him. You have some big money in your family, go to his house and go and ask him. Akufo-Addo said, put all the graduates together. Let's do NACOP. Let's train them. Today, many Ghanaians have been trained of NACOP. What will NDC say? NDC will say that, do you pay the NACOP people? How many weeks have you delayed their salary? That is also correct. You have delayed their salary. But were they able to do that? Their reality was 30. But they are running a campaign against the MPP, telling them that you have done this, you have done that, you have done that. In the Bible, there's somebody called the accuser. I don't know whether you know him. But this is the kind of thing that is going on. And I'm looking at this in the communication sense, and I think that somebody must streamline this communication so that we can have people bringing out a real campaign, not a campaign that is a facade, hiding behind the economic difficulties that we are suffering, that Russians are suffering, British are suffering, Americans are suffering, Chinese are suffering, Sudanese are suffering, everyone is suffering. That has dropped Akufo-Addo's reality up from 100 to 80, and they are pouncing on it when in fact they were unable to produce, they couldn't produce a quarter of the things that have been produced today. It's the same government, the same resources, the same population, they couldn't produce it. But here they are today talking. Hey, you haven't done that. You haven't done that. Because they know that Akufo-Addo's expectation, Akufo-Addo's reality has not met the expectation of 100. But they know that the reality in Ghana today is that this 80 is better than the 50. Here, Kwesi Pratt, and you know Kwesi Pratt Jr. is one of the frontal journalists in Ghana. Kwesi Pratt is not one of those who's going to pussyfoot about information. Kwesi Pratt cannot be bought. Here, Kwesi Pratt on Free SHS. Recently, this week, on Kwame Sefakai's program. Here, Kwesi Pratt on Free SHS. This is the reality of Ghanaians today. Have a listen.
Until recently, I say, on my edition, na ekofompa. Na ninti na madrians on my edition na ekofompa ni say. That be Arabe fa de bon kretai. Sukua omuti duase. Sukua. Last week, we cried in a bar in the school, we probably had the teacher back up at me. I mean, it's immediate. Until recently, very, very recently. In spite of free SHS, we not be Ankoso. Kwame, Makonya, and then maybe a maybe virtual. This is education sector, and no more Koso.
Really?
Oh, Kwame. I know what I'm talking about. Me, so we say me in Kasatra. Bibi Koso. Construction Koso. New science laboratories. Ye bibi ni adi. Na anopena mbisana na kunya se na adan moye we na muntumi mbo hu de room amanfo.
Opinion you come asem no akokan.
Because
Anokwadro.
Masa nukro ni yanka nukro.
Anokwadro.
No
lazy mouth.
Because Masa Nkofo Bebre no omo kan school semwa. Omo jina free SHS. Ina ni se free SHS no. Edin. And who can be any other and not get that for. I thought that school of friend could be no crumb baby crown and not acquire some meadi. But so too now share the material available and put to a cost of our Minister of Education. If anyone outside the Ubi. So we have new science laboratories are here across the country. It explains why examination results no science performance no air course. These are the things that we should be talking about. That digitalization, oh, and I'm also not going to team ye. Oh my, you must say, I want you, Papa. I want you to do Nikano. Mother, and nothing. So I want you, Papa. Who can be a news? I want you, Papa. Obi did be a news, say taxes to cost. Obi did be a news, say city news, say 14 cedis to $1 and so on. I want you, Papa. Obi did Dokubi, said Dokubi. And also, easier to explain, and also, a sensation, and when a canipa direct on them channel. It is a more campaign, digitalization in the Enfahon and Modibe campaign. There's some more because there are strong points for what maybe Moyero Mohona Samukania, Epetosum, Ebian to me, Mamun, Ninkunimu about to Numudia. Now, so, Yaka someone, when I need to say, Kakra, say, oh, I know my idea, then answer higher. I am really surprised and amazed about some of the strides which have been made in the educational sector. I'm surprised. I mean, who science laboratories, the type of science laboratories are, when you are building the quality, the numbers, and so on. I was genuinely impressed. Genuinely impressed.
Kwesi Pratt is telling Kwame Sefakai, the morning show on Peace FM, that he's surprised about the amount of work that has been done in education. He's shocked about the science laboratories. Those science laboratories were not available in John Mohammed's reality of 30. But they are available today in Akufo-Addo's reality of 80. But the MPP is being bullied by the NDC and no one can help them because everyone is going through economic crisis. And it behoves the MPP to pick it up and explain to people that this is the reality of the situation. We have not met the expectation. Yes, we haven't. And there's a reason why we have not met the expectation. We met the expectation in the first term. In 2020 and 2021, something happened and we didn't meet the expectation. But we are still at 80. This reality is still better than John Mohammed's 30. And John Mahama is telling Ghanaians that re-elect me as president so that I can do this and that and that. But your reality as president, Mr. President, was 30. Your opponent took Ghana to 80. But the expectation of Akufo-Addo was so high. And as soon as he came in, he began to meet the expectation. He was meeting it boom, 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 boom. Talk about Dr. Bawumia and interoperability. You couldn't send mobile money from MTN to Vodafone. You couldn't. And John Mahama told us that for that to happen, we were going to pay $4 billion. Dr. Bawumia came and said that, what are you talking about? Why do you need $4 billion for that? What is this kind of poor thinking and incompetence? Bring 100 million and let's do it. And Dr. Bawumia has achieved it. Today you can send mobile money everywhere. The other day I took a taxi. I didn't have money on me. I was standing at Spintex Road and I needed to move from one place to the other. I parked somewhere. I couldn't cross. I just stopped a taxi. Then I remembered I didn't have money on me because I left my stuff in my car. If the taxi driver is watching, he'll testify to it. And then he said, are you the guy on Good Evening? And I said, yeah, well, what have we done? I thought he was coming to fight, so I was ready to fight. He said, oh, no, nothing. I said, okay, let's go. So he dropped me. Then I found I didn't have money. And I said, do you have more money? He said, yes. I said, but what number? Then he said, hey, but me the Vodafone. No. I said, but it doesn't matter. I sent the money to, I said, do you know why I've been able to do that? Because of government policy. I did some small Good Evening Ghana with him in the taxi. I said, it's government policy. So when you people are voting, vote for the policy maker, the one who makes policy. That's the most. Don't be moved by a scholarship secretariat. Somebody. Those things are micro. They are little. Yes, they have to be dealt with. But that's not the reason why Ghana is where it is. There's a much bigger problem where our leaders are not able to think and create. They don't think and they come to government and meet, as Jesus Christ said, 5 talents. They finish government and say, here is your 5 talents, I'm gone. That's the kind of leader we shouldn't vote for. A leader who says, this is 5 talents. You gave me 5 talents. Ghana, you gave me 5 talents, so I finished the 5 talents. No. A leader who says, you gave me 5 talents, I've made it 15. Jesus Christ said, you are the one. I'll take from this one and give to that one. That's the kind of mindset young people need to have. We need to hold our politicians accountable. And we need to get deep into this analysis. Don't be bullied by people who come and just talk about there's petrol, this, there's that. Where is their reality? The reality of what they were able to give to Ghana is 30. The reality of what Adodankwa Akufo-Addo and Dr. Bawumia has done is 80. Yes, it doesn't meet the 100, but it is a far cry from 30. 80 is a far cry from 30. Free SHS is a far cry from paying your SSS school fees. 92 factories, it's a far cry from 0 factories. Ekunfi juice exporting, it's a far cry from importing every single juice that comes to Ghana. That's the reality of Ghanaians. And people should not be bullied by people who have just rhetoric and they don't have substance. They have rhetoric. They don't have substance. Because when they came, they didn't do nothing. So there's no substance for them to speak to. Listen to John Dramani Mahama, the former president. Listen to how many times he will refer to something he did. Do the analysis. Those of you who have the algorithms, go on social media. Everything John Mahama said, show me how many times he's referring to something he did. He's talking about when I come. Why is he not able to refer to this is what we did? Where is the what he did? The guy was there for 8 years, vice president 4 years, president 4 years. Where is what he did? Where is it? He's always referring to the future because he knows that his reality is 30. He knows that the reality is 80, but he wants power and he knows there's economic difficulty and he's going to roll over that into power again. Young people, hold everyone to accountable. Vote NDC if you want to vote NDC, but have a reason to do so. Vote MPP if you want to vote MPP, but have a reason to do so. That's why we have both flags here. Vote what you want to vote, but have a reason to do so. That is the only way our country can change. What are they talking about? They are attacking Dr. Bawumia is a liar. He said he would do this, he has done, and they don't say, I have Ablakwa on tape. Okudzeto Ablakwa, I have him on videotape at Good Evening Ghana, where he came in 2020 and we're talking about 101 factory. And he said, oh, but how many factories have they done? They said they were good. They did only 15 factories. And I'll show you the tape. Right there on the program, I said, what are you talking about? They did 50, you did 0. And that's okay. You did 0 factories. That's what he said. They did only 15. And if you ask NDC, how successful is Akufo-Addo's 101 factory, they'll tell you that, oh, how many industries do you have? How many factories he's done? Is that leadership? Is that the kind of leadership we want? For people who have empty substance but carry out rhetoric? That's what this campaign is going to be about. The campaign is going to be about pulling substance out. So let's have a good look at this. This is the MPP's problem. I'll state the NDC's communication problem later on this show. This is the MPP's problem. You didn't bring Dodu in. Dodu will come and say something about this. But let's see. I'm sure he's listening. This is the MPP. MPP communicators must decipher how they are going to tell Ghanaians who are in economic difficulty that your reality is. Yes, they must decipher how. And that's the communication strength they need. Because the MDC record is not and cannot be better than the MPP record. This is not about me being MPP or me supporting Akufo-Addo. That's a reality. NDC cannot speak about record. They are not able to talk about record. NDC is not able to discuss record. When they come on Good Evening Ghana and you say record, they start arguing that you are insulting them. Record. They don't have record. They've been in power 8 years. I remember in 2020's election, journalists asked Akufo-Addo what's going to be the election situation. In fact, he said it here as well. He said this election is simple. I've been president 4 years. John Mahama has been president for 4 years. This is record and my record. That's all. I have nothing to say. Look at my record. Look at John Mahama's record. Even in 2020, John Mahama was unable to discuss record. Akufo-Addo took the record to the Ghanaian people. They were in COVID. They were dying. They were wearing masks and they voted for him. The record. The economic difficulties since then have become more. Just as you are recovering from COVID, Ukraine war comes, imports don't come. Everything is getting bazaar all over the world. And that happens every now and then in the world. Sometimes it happens when NPP is in power. In 2008, President Kufuor had the same problem. The global economic crisis in America, the subprime borrowing, had affected the whole world. And Kufuor had to come on television to legislate the price of kilograms of rice because it was a difficult situation. NDC rode on the back of that. The Professor Mills campaign was riding on the back of global economic crisis and corruption. The two heads of NDC campaign, economic crisis and corruption. Nothing about what I will do. Zero about it. Nothing about an originally thought policy. The kinds of things Dr. Bawumia does every day, original thinking. Every day Dr. Bawumia is doing original thinking. Every day he's putting out something that's original. Every day he's thinking. The other people don't come and say anything. Corruption and economic crisis. That's their message. The government is corrupt. Look at what they are doing. And they never come in as politicians. Those people in NDC, and I've spoken to them. Me, I know the NDC people in, out, up, upside down. I am a better NDC person than most of them. I know them. Those who were asking for the Tamaklo guy, what's his first name again? Who? No. The Tamaklo guy who wanted to be running mate. Leslie Tamaklo. Those who wanted Leslie Tamaklo to be running mate, this was their issue. That let's begin to show original thinking. Leslie Tamaklo is able to show Ghanaians how he's going to work something out. Let's put him in as running mate. That was the message they were carrying. I heard them and I thought, well, you can do something about that. But if John Mahama will accept it. Because there is really hardly any original thinking coming out of the campaign. Maybe it's going to come out now. We have to wait for Dr. Mani Boama. Maybe something is going to happen. But thus far, nothing. And they are in opposition. And they've elected their candidate a long time ago. Up to today, Dr. Bawumia is still the one making policy statements of original thinking. And then they will come and say it's not possible. For how many years did Fifi Kwetedor tell us that free SHS is not possible? He said free SHS. That's what you call all lie, be lie. Because they don't see it possible because they are not able to generate original thinking. Politicians in Africa who are not able to generate original thinking and they want to be voted for. They can't generate original thinking, but they want to be voted for. Why? Can't they just sit in the room and offer Ghana something better? Because Akufo-Addo's reality of 100 has not met the expectation, reality of 80 has not met the expectation of 100 in 2024. He met 100 in 2017, 100 in 2018, 100 in 2019, 100 in 2020. 2021, he goes 90. 2022, 85. 2024, 80. And they said, look at him. He said he will take you to 100. He's taking you only to 80 when they took you to 30. This is what this campaign is about. This campaign is about this. Anyway, I'll leave it here and then we go and run the other stories. The next story is the NDC's problem of communication. And we'll settle this very well. 17 minutes past the hour, 10 o'clock. Let's do the show Sholoza. We do sports after that. We do the interview and we're on the highway. Dodo is coming to join us. This Good Evening Ghana is live. Show Sholoza. All right, we're still on the show. Let's see what people are saying on the text messages. Next, we go to the touchscreen to deliver the sports story. And then on Tuesday, I'll deliver the NDC one. It's going to be another 30 minutes, so it's a bit long. We have too many interviews to do today. We have a very beautiful interview coming up with the guy who's written the book. It's very innovative, and I like that. And we'll do sports as well. Let's see what our viewers are saying. And I like it to be very brutal. If you think that I'm blatantly wrong, tell me that you're blatantly wrong. In fact, if you think that I'm being disingenuous, say that I'm being disingenuous. If you think I'm being plain and not sensible, tell me that this is not sensible. Fatih, does he have the first text message? Okay, let's hear what people are saying, Fatih.
All right, so coming from Eddie Dantes, he says John Mahama can't talk about his records because 90% of his so-called achievements are inherited from Mills or Kufuor. His only record is bringing an economy that was growing at 14% all the way to 3.4%, abysmal. Now, Nana Kofi says, there is one thing I remember the president said. Government is full of choices, and he has decided to invest in education. So I'm not surprised with what Kwesi Pratt said on the investment the government has made in the educational sector. Now, Nana Ekuamwa Boatin says, thank you, Paul, for enlightening us. We have success stories to tell some people coming 2024. Only that the government appointees should create opportunities for the grassroots. too much wickedness and selfishness in the system, which sometimes demoralizes us to put up our best foot forward. Alhaji Yusuf Hussaini says, our biggest challenge as a nation still hang on to the many illiterate in the system. Some people, especially NDC members, has refused to be referred to their own records because they are not proud of it. Communications wing of the NPP is very poor. When you complain, it falls on deaf ears. Who are those responsible to position the NPP? The national executives of the NPP must put up a new stock of party communicators. Now, Felix Boaben says NPP has never been fortunate with all the 60 years they have in power. In the year 2006, under John Kufuor, there was an economic credit crunch which hit the world economy and paid miserably for it. What are we seeing today? Because of COVID and currently the Russian-Ukraine war, the global economy is in crisis today and NPP is paying dearly for it. Basic things NDC could not do, and see how they are running their mouth. That party is such a disgraceful party. Lastly, Seydou Kamal says, Paul, in as much as communicators need to be hit hard on our achievements, we need to be alongside, be motivated as communicators with much workshops, not centralized everything in Accra without visits to other regions. What do you have for us, Hanzaba?
We have First saying he's watching live from Newcastle, and he's saying, what an excellent and educative presentation. Paul, you are ace. A gem Ghana should cherish. Kudos to you and your lovely team. From Derek Opon, watching from Manchester. Paul, a lot of people still remember the good things the president has done during COVID. During COVID, I was working as a medic at UGMC. Patients had free oxygen, free meals while on admission, free CT scan, labs, etc. One patient's bill can be as high as 89,000 Ghana cedis. Look at the number of people diagnosed with COVID across the length and breadth of the country. Currently in the UK, things are expensive. The prices of goods have quadrupled in 2 years. Here in Ghana, Ghanaians are enjoying free education, new DMU trains, massive road infrastructure and interchanges, etc. Yet Mahama is playing around the whole place, ranting to come and do the worst. Let's give Bawumia the opportunity, lest we regret and never recover again in 30 years. We have Seydou Kamal saying, Paul, you're a great asset to Mother Ghana. Last but not least, we have Ni Oko saying, Paul, you have not opened the phone lines for a long time. When are you going to do so? Antoinette?
Right. So Adam Abdul Aziz Bakari, he says, good evening, Apostle Paul. May God bless you for these analysis and presentations. I am quite worried about how the NPP communicates and present to Ghanaians about the performance of the government. In fact, before 2021, our currency was stable, fuel prices were moderately stable, and all the economic indicators were in the positive direction. Now, William Dinchi says, Paul, kudos, you're taking the show to a new level. The electorate need this level of communication to make informed choices and not fall for cheap propaganda. Ghana deserves better. Mahama is history and Bawumia is the future. Elder Kutin Amot says, fantastic submissions by Paul Ademotri. Ghanaians and they are one step forward, two step backwards. I'm watching you live from the United States. Thanks for tuning in. Dauda Abubakar Sadiq says, you're really doing the Lord's work. The current government has really built a strong foundation, which we need a bold solution, a critical thinker, creative and visionary leaders to lead us to the promised land, and he is nobody but Dr. Bawumia. Felix Bobby Ando says, it actually still does not erase the fact that the NDC did quarter of what this government is doing today. They have really not come near to the expectations of Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. Seydou Kamal says, Paul, you are an asset to Mother Ghana, watching from Borga Atlantic. Benjamin Adotaye says, Paul, the reality is that my disposable income cannot afford the quantum it used to afford 8 years ago, even though you're saying the expectations for Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo was 80%. Owo Akai says, one constituency, one ambulance. Paul, just imagine COVID without an ambulance. This was a policy by Nana Addo. Nana Owusu says, Paul, you are too good. The naysayers are wallowing under their propaganda machine. And lastly, Nana Kwejo Amwako Frimpon says, I agree that the NPP communicators need to wake up and talk more about the achievements of this government. Now back to you, Paul.
All right. So, Mikhail is not in the studio. I saw him here. Where did he go? All right. Let's get to sports now, viewers, and we'll continue with the stuff. I'm just replying. People are worrying me. Yeah, Simony. Okay. The Lord is our help. Oga?
Yes, sir.
Bukayo Saka. Oh. So what happened?
I think deja vu again. Mm-hmm. So the month of April has not been good to Arteta and Arsenal since 2022. So in 2022, they were fighting for the top four together with Spurs. Spurs was 5th, Arsenal was 4th. And within 2 weeks in April, they lost to Crystal Palace, Brighton, and also Southampton, and then bottled it. The same thing last year. They were first before April, 10 points. They drew 3 matches in a row, lost to City 4-1. They bottled it. This season looks like the month of April has not started well for Arteta again. He drew against, that was Bayern last week, lost to Aston Villa, and also lost. That was just yesterday. So the month of April has not been good to Arsenal and Arteta. Yesterday,
out of Champions League.
Yeah, they're out of Champions League.
But I thought that their performance was better than people expected.
Yes. So at first, Bayern didn't used to respect Arsenal, but they give them the utmost respect. You could see at the point in time they were playing 6 centre backs. Getting to the end of the match. So they were actually
to protect their lead.
Yes, they were actually scared of Arsenal because Arsenal have been very, very good this season.
Is it that they were scared or they're doing what Arteta is not able to do? You have a 1-0 lead, Champions League quarter-final, 5 minutes to go. Learn how to protect the lead.
So they just use experience.
That's Thomas Tuchel. He's won the Champions League before.
Oh, yes.
So he understands how to go about it. Yeah. So he knows game management in a crucial quarter-final game.
That's what
he used to edge out Arsenal last night. So what's the future of Arteta at Arsenal these days?
So the fans have been hearing some comments on social media. They are calling for his head that he has to win the Premier League or he's going.
This Premier League?
Yes.
2 points behind Manchester City.
Difficult. And he has been there.
And they have a game on Sunday against Wolves, which I think they can win.
Oh, yes.
They should be able
to. They have won the last 5 matches against Wolves, so that match will be,
But they have to go away to Spurs. And on 12th May, they are the Old Trafford.
Yes, and they'll even play against Chelsea. So
Chelsea is coming in. Chelsea is going to the Emirates, so people expect Arsenal to win. But with the kind of form Chelsea showed in the last game, we have to wait and see what Chelsea do at the weekend. They are playing Manchester City for the FA Cup semi-final at Wembley, isn't it?
Yeah.
Wow.
So we moved to Real Madrid, and they showed why they are.
Charlie, this guy. Is it true he's 20 or is football age?
I'm even shocked. So there was one thing that happened.
I think it's 28 though.
Yeah, there was the one thing that happened 4 years ago. So Birmingham City retired his jersey when he was leaving for Borussia Dortmund, and it was weird to me. I was like, why this club, have they not produced a lot of players? In 2011, Birmingham City beat Arsenal for the League Cup. That's the Carabao Cup. Obafemi Martins scored here. Because I was thinking, okay, you can actually retire Obafemi Martins' jersey because he won your first trophy in almost 120 years.
What jersey number was he wearing?
Jude Bellingham, 22. That's his favorite number.
And they said they won't. No one has worn it.
How
old was he then?
He was just 16.
Birmingham City.
Yes, 4 years ago.
He was that great at 16.
Very great.
To occasion
he broke into the team at 15 years, and then he just stole.
He broke into the first team, 15.
Yeah. So this guy.
But he also has height.
Oh yes.
So it's quite easy for him to break into the team.
Yeah.
He has height.
But Man City is a well-drilled team. They
Absolutely.
34 shots, 11 on targets. If not for Madrid's goalkeeper and then the defense, I don't know. Madrid had their first corner in the 105th minute. That's very sad.
But they had scored already by then.
Yes. Ancelotti. Let's big up him. He's the first manager to take out Pep Guardiola on 3 occasions.
3?
Yeah. That's 2014 semi-finals when Guardiola was at Bayern Munich, and he was at his first stint at Madrid, and then 2022 when Pep was at City, and then your man was at Madrid again in the semi-finals. He took him out,
and they've done it again.
Yeah, just yesterday. So 3 times.
But yesterday was penalty, so it's luck. It's a game of luck.
Yeah. So let's talk about the penalties.
And if Kevin De Bruyne had put that ball away,
yes.
I don't
understand.
Nobody understands. I mean, the commentator said that if he had demonstrated 10% of how he scored the first goal, this would have been a second goal.
The drawing we know here.
I mean, it was wow.
It's fine margins. That's football for you. And let's talk about the penalty. This guy, Bernardo Silva.
What happened?
So normally,
he almost passed the goalkeeper.
Yes, I think I knew from the start when he was going to play that he would play to the middle. I've watched this guy's penalties.
Oh, the trick was to play to the middle. He knew the keeper will move.
Just move, yes. That's one thing he does. When there's pressure penalties, he just plays it to the middle. He knows that the keeper will just move.
Frank Lampard used to do that when he was a player. Lampard plays penalties straight down the middle.
So what saved the goalkeeper was, you see, that's why the white people are always ahead of us. The goalkeeper's trainer told him every player's position he was going. So the goalkeeper went for every position.
Oh, I noticed. There's a video, a reel going around where Rudiger was telling him that Kovacic was going to play the ball this way.
And they were teammates. They were teammates. Kovacic and Rudiger were teammates at Chelsea.
So that's interesting. Yeah. Because I saw the reel, he was telling him, go this way, go this way. Yeah. And the ball went that way. And Luka Modric was congratulating Rudiger for signaling the coach, the goalkeeper, the right way. Very interesting video. I was enjoying it.
The footballers know each other. Yeah, that was Kovacic for you.
That was the one. Yeah.
The same way. So this goalkeeper, the Lunin, he was a third choice goalkeeper before the season started. It was Courtois and then Kepa. And then Courtois got hurt for 9 months. Kepa was not so good. And he has been a man. That's 10 penalty saves in 26 penalty shootouts in his career. Very good goalkeeper, but very underrated. He's the number 1 goalkeeper for Ukraine. We will see him at the Euros this season. So this was 2019, the penalty played against Kepa. And the same Kepa was telling the goalkeeper where he would place it in the middle, and the goalkeeper caught it. Yes, they were having conversations before.
Oh, I see.
Yes. So that is it, and this is the parent. So that is Bayern will be playing at home first. That will be on 30th April, just 30th April. And then Borussia Dortmund will be playing at home first on first.
They are playing against Paris Saint-Germain.
Yes, on 1st May, and the return leg will be at Bernabeu on 8th May, and also the return leg will be at Paris on 7th.
Final is at Wembley.
Yes.
When?
That will be on 25th.
25th May. Yes.
And you see, there's this thing going around that in 2013 when they played.
When is FA Cup final?
FA Cup final will be a week before.
A week before the Champions League final. Okay.
So there's this thing going around on social media that 2013 when they played at Wembley, it was an all-German final between BVB.
No, I've been to a Wembley final with Manchester United and Barcelona. I was there.
Yeah, 2013.
When Rooney
2011.
scored.
That was 2011.
That was 2011, eh?
Yes.
I was there. United lost though, but I was happy to be there. That's my only Champions League final.
Oh, and we lost.
Yeah, we lost.
So it was between BVB and also...
And Lionel Messi scored as well.
Yes.
That's the first time I've seen Messi score.
Wow.
Yeah, so I enjoyed that. But when Rooney got the equalizer, I think it was a combination of Rooney and Giggs. Very good goal. Very good goal.
Equalized right before...
Yes, right before halftime. So we're celebrating at halftime. Chicharito let us down a little bit. He was frightened by the occasion.
So this is your man. I think he's
Jude Bellingham.
His PR work is very good, and a young player should learn from him.
It is.
After the match, he was the very first player to move into the Real Madrid stands, and they are just hyping him rather instead of Rudiger and the goalkeeper and then all the players. I think
he deserves to be hyped. You see, the first goal, the way he stopped the ball, and changed the direction. Asked Vinicius to go this way. The defender thought he was going to pass to him. Then he went to the other guy and said, give it to Vinicius. Yeah. Was it Vinicius who scored the goal?
No, it was Rodrigo. So
Rodrigo moved that way.
Vinicius passed. And
then he gave it to him. And then that I thought was excellent. And then that's why I believe that he's getting the hype. I have something though to say about the English coach. If he doesn't win the Euro, they should bring him to Accra Independence Square and lash him. You have Jude Bellingham.
Yes.
You have Declan Rice. You have Kobe Menu. You have Cole Palmer. You have Marcus Rashford. That's forward, Phil Foden. Oh. And you cannot win the European Championships.
Watkins and Harry Kane.
That's all forward. And he has the back. Who's at the back?
Maguire. He has all those
Maguire is not that good. You can't say Maguire. He has Luke Shaw on the left. He has Stones. He has Kyle Walker. Yeah. He has Pickford. That man, if he doesn't win that championship, it should lash him. How can you have this kind of team and not win the trophy? You have just Jude Bellingham and Declan Rice in the middle. You are a winner with Kobe Menu behind them. You are there. Nobody should be able to beat you. But I don't know what he's going to do. He's going to go and do last year and a semi-final.
He will play Henderson. You will see him. He will do his thing.
Oh, Henderson shouldn't find a place in that midfield.
I'll be sure.
Bellingham, Rice, Menu. No. Henderson shouldn't find a place over there.
He has his favorites. And then Maguire was
then he has Bukayo Saka.
Yes.
This man, if he doesn't win the tournament, they should lash him.
And then your friend said, if your daughter is going to bring someone home, and this is the guy you have to bring home.
Huh?
He's saying that if your daughter is bringing someone like Jude Bellingham home, he is the type of man or guy
that you should allow him to
yes,
be.
because he is the real deal. I don't know what he was trying to say, but he's a very funny guy.
I really hope he gets the Ballon d'Or.
Oh yes. And so this is the goalkeeper. So let's move to the FA Cup. Your man Don
Carlo Ancelotti.
Yes. Let's move to.
He's my wife's favorite coach. Put it
wow.
back.
Yeah. Very good one.
One of 4 times. Likes Carlo Ancelotti.
Yeah, 1 of 4 times. Very experienced man.
Yeah.
Still, the only 2 English teams to successfully defend their Champions League. That was Liverpool 77 and 78, and Nottingham Forest 79 and 1980.
Oh, Nottingham Forest won 79, won it again in 80, and so did Liverpool.
Yeah.
Is that Kenny Dalglish?
Yep.
Absolutely.
The great Kenny Dalglish.
Of course.
Rudiger
was massive. Rudiger was massive. Rudiger was really massive.
Yes. So let's move to the FA Cup.
This weekend. What's happening?
Yes. So on Saturday, we'll have Chelsea will be taking on Manchester City, and also on Sunday, Coventry will be taking.
Is that Jackson?
Yes.
People will get angry with you. They don't want to see Jackson. They want one of the Nigerian boys, Madueke or Kopama. You want to put Jackson. They don't like Jackson. They are very angry with him.
No. But yeah. So
Coventry is in championship.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, are they coming? Are they up championship?
Oh no. They are
Middle.
out. Yeah, they are out of the top 6.
The top 6. Okay.
So Chelsea and Man City have been a very, very good match this season. 2 draws in those matches. So Chelsea are coming in as favourites because the last time City were out of the FA Cup, that was Chelsea.
Oh, I see.
2021.
Oh, I see.
Chelsea eliminated them.
So Chelsea starts on Saturday as favourites.
Hey! And also Coventry, the Coventry players have started talking. They said, oh, it's good they got United. United was the team they were waiting for. They know because they have heard United has conceded 20 shots per match in the last 7 matches. So they know they can try something against United. And then there's this interesting story. This man, Mark Robins, he is the coach of Coventry City. And he scored the most important goal in Man United history, in recent history. Ask me why. So in 1990, you remember we won the FA Cup against Crystal Palace.
Yes, the recovery. When Alex Ferguson started recovering the team.
Is this guy, we played, that was the 3rd round against Nottingham Forest. He scored the important 1 goal. And we won the match, and that was the start. The next season,
that's how Alex Ferguson started building.
The next season, we won the cup, the Cup Winners' Cup. The next season, we won the Carabao. We won the league for the first time in 26 years. We won the league again. We won the Champions. So this guy,
all the way to 99.
All the way to 99. So this man, Mark Robins, he's come to face us again. He is the man of the moment, Mark Robins. So that was the last time Coventry won the FA Cup in 87.
87.
Yes, they beat Spurs.
Is that how they turn up blue and white, like Olympics? Yeah. Like Olympics, like Brighton?
That's how they would turn up against United. Okay. Yeah, they're the home team. So that was Coventry in 87. And then Pep Guardiola just lost only 5 times in 40 FA Cup matches. And that's outstanding for this man.
35?
Yeah.
He's won 35?
Yeah.
Wow.
Outstanding. And also Ten Hag, 10 matches, 9 wins, and 1 loss. That was last season's final.
FA Cup.
Yeah, so
he's also kind of FA Cup expert. Yeah. The final, the last season final, I was there. City and United. Yeah, I was at Wembley to see that game.
So you see, Chelsea has 71 wins, City has 65. So Chelsea has the upper hand, 41 draws.
But are the bookmakers making Chelsea the favourites on the betting?
No. Chelsea has 5 CDs, 25 pesos, and City has 1 CD, 45 pesos.
Yeah.
So these are the coaches and the teams they used to play for. So that's Mark Robins, United. And also, he was the captain, Eric Ten Hag, FC20, and your man, Barcelona, and also Pochettino, that was Argentina, and also PSG.
Oh, they're all former players?
Oh, yes, former players. And then, yes, do they look alike? Are they players like the same?
I've been reading the account, and I think that Scholes was turned into a more forward player by Alex Ferguson.
Yeah.
Because of his propensity for yellow cards and red cards. I think Ferguson got him to go further forward, so he's not doing a defensive role. So he brought in Anderson to play the 6, what we call the defensive midfielder. These days they call it the 6 La Posa. He brought Anderson to play the 6 and then have Scholes go ahead a little bit. He got Ryan Giggs to keep an eye on Scholes from his book. And so for now, Scholes is a slightly advanced player than Kobe Mainoo, but in terms of the style, the way they receive the ball, the way they change the game, the ball control and the distribution, they're about the same. But even that, given Kobe's age, I think I'll put him ahead of Scholes.
Wow.
In the way he picks the ball, the way he turns around the game. Look at the Liverpool goal. That was not the direction of the game. The ball came to him. He was expected to pass left, pass right. He just turned around. Scholes does that, but Scholes does that straightforward. The ball comes in, the ball is there. He doesn't do that turning thing. You know, Charlie, the guy is too much.
Very, very good.
It's too much. It's too much.
And yes, let's finish off with
our home problem.
With our home
What's
problem.
Asante saying?
So he says that the interim management committee says that it will sack coach Prosper Ogum in the coming days if the results don't change. So that's the match against Samatex. Samatex is first in the league and it's very. They are leading with 4 points.
Who's this guy?
He's part of the
management.
IMC.
Who is this?
The Ochami.
Okay, this is Kwesi Appiah. And this is Prosper Ogum.
Yes. So they are saying.
Why is he smiling when he's going to be sacked?
They are giving him just 2 games: the match against Samatex and also.
Is he the problem, or is it a systemic? It's
a systemic problem. It's a system. When they let Benaya Aponsa go, that was the main issue. So there's in-house wranglings, fighting here and there, and then the journalists are also creating a whole thing in Kumasi. It's a whole big mess. And yes, he says, I will personally call the GFA to dissolve Kotoko before you take the club to relegation. Kotoko is closer to relegation than even staying in mid-table.
Hey!
Yes. It's just 7 points with relegation. So he says he will personally dissolve it, call GFA to dissolve it. He's very, 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 very frank about it. So he's very serious about his team. He's the bankroller, and he is the lifelong patron of Kotoko. So if he says it, he says it. It's as simple as that. And here, that was before yesterday. Asante Kotoko players missed second training session in 2 days due to unrest among fans, with the club set to lock horns with league leader Samatex. It's very sad.
So the fans go to Papaya and ask them to watch the game, or they'll go and boo Kotoko?
No.
Will they go?
I think they have to go. They have to go and support the team. They have to go and cheer the team on. They have to win against Samatex. Even though Samatex are playing very well, Samatex is just a new team that came last 2 seasons.
With very little history.
Yes. You are Kotoko. So please, the fans, we beg you, go on Sunday to go and cheer on the team. They have to win the match.
But is this Prosper Ogum not the same coach who was said to be a hero and
he won the last
league? Even looking for him?
Yes. Even Black Stars at a point in time.
Yeah, they considered him.
So I'm not sure he is the problem. They buy players. When a player does well 1 season, they sell the player. So there's no stability in the team.
Selling to some Belgium 3rd division.
Yes, for some meager amount. And then you bring in players from...
Well, you can call it meager, but if he's getting £1,000 a week in Belgium, his grandmother is happy. They can build a house in Algeria in Ghana.
But it's not helping the team. They have to take a call.
It's 10:42. We'll leave it here. Let's take a short break. When we come back, we're going another political interview. We have one short story to do about the vice president and his campaign and something about the MPP running mate. We'll do that very quickly and then we get to the book. Dodo is also here. We'll talk about it. Let's do a short break now. Maybe 5 minutes. I'm sorry about that, viewers. I know that you don't like it when we're taking the breaks, but my bosses are always harassing me, and if I don't, they'll sack me. If they sack me, you won't see me here anymore. So let's obey the rules. Commercial break time now. I'll be right back. Okay, so now my lawyer and Dodo have taken their seats. Can viewers see them, please? Yeah, excellent. Dodo on the left, my lawyer on the right. Dodo, good evening.
Yeah, good evening.
How is Esiakwa?
Oh, Esiakwa is very great. I wish you will visit me there one day.
Yes, I have to come.
Yeah.
As a politics, as the campaign started in those...
as for Esiakwa, campaign will not be that much because it's a stronghold. And Dr. Kingsley Agyemang, because of what he has done, he has his own farm and he has reduced corn that are supposed to sell on 800 cedis. He's selling it to Kinky sellers and others 300 cedis. So as for him...
A bag of corn?
Yeah, a bag of meal for 300 cedis. So as for
him... From Kingsley Agyemang's farm?
Yeah, from his own farm. So as for him, he doesn't have much to do. I know there are a lot of people that are trying to bring him down. I've heard a lot of things, Manasseh Azuri and all those things, but I don't think the man is unperturbed, and I know the man is going to win and become the next MP for Achime Buakwa South.
Okay, all right. Let's come to the touch screen and talk about Alhaji Bawumia and the NPP running mate situation. Last week we talked about something about the running mate, but I have something to say again about the running mate. The elections in Ghana are twofold. We elect parliamentary elections and presidential elections. In the parliamentary elections, you go and take a paper and then you have all the members of parliament contesting for the seat in the constituency on there and then you choose one. The presidential election, this is the president's face, other presidential candidates, and then you choose one. In America, it's a bit different. So if you look at American ballot sheet, you will see that Republican Party Donald J. Trump, you see his photograph there. And then you see Senator Mike Pence, you see his picture there. The running mate in the American election is on the ballot. You see it. Here he's not. I think that Dr. Bawumia's office should be clear about the situation. No one can put pressure on Dr. Bawumia. The one that the MPP is presenting for the election is Alhaji Mahamudu Bawumia. He's clear in his mind. He's going to choose a running mate. The running mate is not elected. They don't vote for the running mate, as they did in 1979. I've showed it here before that our former president, Dr. Liman's running mate, Dr. DeGraff Johnson, was elected in Kumasi at the KNUST by the members of the PM. It was a voting. Dr. Liman had already been chosen by election as the presidential candidate of the PNP for the 79 election. And then months later, they congregated at KNUST. It was then called UST. And they elected a running mate. Dr. Liman participated in the vote. He had only one vote. A running mate was elected in Dr. DeGraff Johnson. It may well be that Liman didn't like him. That has changed. The 1992 Constitution has completely changed that. In Article 57 and 58, the executive authority of Ghana vests in the president of Ghana. So Dr. Bawumia is the one that the MPP presented. People are going to elect the MPP because of Dr. Bawumia. But the work is big and the work is broad. It behoves the presidential candidate to decide that this will be my running mate. When he selects the running mate, it will indicate to the people. I'm not saying the running mate selection is not important. It is very important. Why? For a few reasons. Principal among them is that this is the first appointment the presidential candidate is going to make. So people are looking at the way he's thinking and who he's choosing to decide whether he's looking for energy, he's looking for diplomacy, he's looking for gender, he's looking for that. The presidential candidate makes that decision in his head, and then he chooses somebody. So he may be electing a running mate for mobilization. And the rule says that the running mate is to assist. So when the presidential candidate looks at the gamut of the situation and he considers the issues in this election, in the election that he's fighting, he then, based on that, together with his team, the National Council, the National Executive, etc., chieftaincy, chiefs of Ghana, etc., his supporters, all of that, together with them, he suggests to them that I think I want to go this way. It is a personal one man's decision. There's consultation, no doubt, but it's one man's decision. So when he selects a candidate, we say, why did he select Paul Adumotre? He's looking for somebody who can do touch screen. Maybe. If touch screen is important for the election, maybe. Why did he select Samia Oku? He's looking for this and that and that. Why did he select Nana B? He's looking for this and that. Why did he go outside his party to go and select Leslie Tamaklo? He's looking for this and that and that. That's about it. Have I changed something? Okay, that's about it. That's what the running mate is. So if he comes up and he selects Napo, people can interpret it. And people who are looking at it will decide that if you have selected Napo, then I know the kind of thinking you have, I'm with you. If you have selected Napo, I know the thinking you have, I'm not with you. He may come and select Brian Achampong. And they will say that, oh, yeah, thank you. Thank you, that's Napo. So people may say that, oh, because you've chosen Napo, I'm with you. Some people may say that, but all the things confronting you, Napo is the person you are choosing, I'm not with you. It's a choice. He selects Educhum. Somebody comes up and says that, oh, I like Dr. Educhum. I like the way he talks. So I think Dr. Bawumia is looking for somebody who can really push education agenda. Dr. Bawumia is signaling that the education of Ghanaians is important to him. Napo can take that education line as well. He was education minister. Get back to Brian Achampong, let's see. He selects somebody he selects Brian Achampong. People are going to say, he selected Brian Achampong. Some farmers who have been excited about Brian Achampong will say, that's our guy. Dr. Bawumia is interested in what happens in agriculture because Brian is doing agriculture. He selected him. Some food soldier somewhere who works with Brian will say that, I think Dr. Bawumia is looking for hard work. He sees that this election is difficult and he knows that Brian Achampong is a brutal bull. When it comes to work, Achampong will work like a bull. And that's what we think Dr. Bawumia is looking for. That's why he went for Brian Achampong. He selects Joe Wise. People are thinking he's going to go for the strength of somebody who understands parliamentary constituencies. Because of what has happened, if the election goes that way, if Dr. Bawumia wins and the parliament is like that, he's looking for a vice president who understands what has happened in parliament so he can navigate it. All of that are things. We select Esla Owusu as the running mate, a gender ticket, and he's looking for a very strong woman. Very, very strong woman. He selects Cheme Sambonsu, similar to the arguments that he selects Joe Wise. So that is what it is. and he selects Irene Atoshi, then we know what he's going for. He's going for gender, and he's going to somebody who is outside the Akan and see what the non-Akan people. Dr. Bawumia is thinking about non-Akan people. That's why he's going for Irene Atoshi. So Alhaji Bawumia is the decision maker. The fact that he has not chosen his running mate should not be said to undermine his campaign and his credibility to become president of Ghana through the elections of 2024. He is running the campaign. He's the one the MPP is presenting. They are not presenting him as somebody. When he selects that somebody, it gives people an indication of what he's thinking. Full stop. That's about it. That's why I was happy when I heard that Dr. Bawumia is going to start his campaign. He should start his campaign and forget about, yes, President Mahama has selected his running mate. That's a good decision. That's President Mahama's timetable. President Mahama has not selected a campaign team. Somebody will say that, but President Mahama, up till now, he hasn't selected his campaign team. Why is the campaign going? How is he going to run the campaign? But he has selected a running mate. Dr. Bawumia has selected his campaign team. He's ready for the campaign. The running mate is an addition to the campaign. But he has the campaign team running. I don't understand why people are putting pressure on him. Let him come and tell the Ghanaian people what he's able to achieve. Later on, he will tell the Ghanaian people, this is my running mate. The running mate will be an indication to different groups of people: civil society, Ghana Bar Association, Ghana Industrialists, Ghana Journalists Association, Ghana Football Association, General Ghanaian Public, district assemblies. All of that will have their different interpretations and connotation about Dr. Bawumia based on who he selects. But the decision is his, and it is only his. I leave it there. What do we have? Let's go to the montage. I'm back at the desk, isn't it? Behind me is John Dramani Mahama and Alhaji Mahamudu Bawumia, the two front runners for election 2024. 1 minute past the top of the hour at 9 o'clock. This is Good Evening Ghana is live. Now we have an explosion, is an explosive story. Good evening, lawyer.
Good evening. How are you?
I'm good. You've written an interesting book. Tell us the title.
It's Law as Enabler of Corruption.
Law?
Absolutely.
As an enabler of corruption.
You cannot do law unless you have the law to support you. So you cannot do corruption unless you have the law to support you. It is law that creates the justifications, the opportunities, and the defenses for corruption. So really, the mother of corruption is law.
It's an irony, isn't it? Law is supposed to check corruption.
But law has changed since time. Law now is anything that authorities say it is. An authority now is not necessarily about truth. It's about power. It's about distribution of benefits and privileges. So whoever is authority is the law. And that authority says, this is right, this is wrong. So in a political system where there's adversarial struggle for the little scarce things that we have, people in power get opportunities to personalize, to privatize, and to use the powers they have for personal benefits and to enjoy it. You can call it corruption or you can call it benefits of the work. But you cannot do corruption unless you are in power. And when you are in power, whatever you do, if you do it well, is justified.
Do it well means what?
It means you follow the procedures. You lay down the procedures. If this, then that. A, then B, then C, then E. And you are the authority.
So when you say that, but this thing was so, but it went to PPA.
That's right.
Something like that.
Well, so you write a law that says that in order for it to be correct, it has to go through 1, 2, 3. It has gone through PPA. Therefore, it is correct.
And then you now give the PPA people the opportunity.
Correct.
To tell you that your document has come home.
That's
so
right.
if you don't...
So the law is about procedures and forms and discretions and about finality. So what the authority, whether it's a Supreme Court, whether it's a tribunal, whether it's a judge, whether it's a minister, whether it's a president, does certify in accordance with the law existing at the time is correct. So if you say you want to fight corruption, you can't go prosecuting people because most of the people who make a lot of money have a lot of power and they are justified in what they do. So you can only go for the little fish. Are
they justified legally, those people?
Absolutely. Unless they're not really smart. There are 3 laws in the world. The first law in one of my books called iLegal is you have the right to be smart. You have the right to be wise. If you want to be foolish, you have the right to be foolish. That's the second law. And the third law is the wise have the right to exploit the foolish as long as they do so legally. And this is something that's universal across all jurisdictions. So if you are wise, you're a minister, you are a person, you have the right to exploit the foolish around you if you do it legally. So why can't you do it legally if you got smart people around you? So if you're corrupt and you get caught as corrupt, it means you have not followed the law properly. As long as you're smart and you follow properly, it cannot be corrupt. But it could be corrupt in substance, but not in form.
So how do you see the office of the OSP, for instance?
I think the office of the OSP is just another legal institution, and all legal institutions have the possibility and the reality of corruptibility. It is not the office of the special prosecutor that can stamp out corruption, prevent corruption, minimize corruption. No. People are not corrupt because they're afraid of being caught or not being caught. People are corrupt because they get opportunities. So is the office of the special prosecutor reducing opportunities for corruption? No. Is the office of the special prosecutor able to get people who are doing corruption to stop corruption because there is a possibility they may be prosecuted? No. What about the numbers? How many people can be prosecuted? And how do you prosecute unless you have evidence that would establish guilt beyond reasonable doubt? When people are doing corruption, they don't create photographs. They don't record their conversations. And when they're using their discretion to justify their corrupt activities, that is not on record. So how are you going to prosecute a smart decision maker who has authority to justify what they're doing in accordance with the law, advised by lawyers, advised by smart people?
And you have to show that beyond reasonable doubt.
Can't.
Makes it more difficult.
It's not possible. And then you have a special prosecutor in this country or in any other country in a context where there's insecurity, there's adversarial systems. So he starts his work in an environment in which he doesn't feel secure. Now, if you start not feeling secure, you are corruptible in your mind. You are corruptible in the places that you can go and can't go. Are you with me? And then how do you even become a special prosecutor in a world in which everywhere you see corruption is justified? Where do you go? Who do you attack? Is it tribalism? Is it religion? Do you neglect A and B? Is it politics? Where do you start? Which court do you go? Is it MPP court, NDC court? Is it the universal court? So you see, there's a problem. In your budget, is your budget enough?
That's interesting. So what's the solution? How do
the solution is very simple.
Yeah.
We have to agree. Corruption is normal in this part of the world. Because
it's normal.
And I'll explain it. We all know people get elected, they pay so-called delegates. There's bribery at the polling level. So they get into power through corruption. A lot of people get into power by paying people and doing all kinds of illegal things. Then they get into positions of power. And then it is usually, not always, but usually as a result of recommendations, favoritism, this tribe, this pastor, this imam, this chief, and so on and so forth. So this corruption is part of the process that selects the authority. So you are beholden to people and you have to understand where you're coming from. And then there's poverty and there's insecurity and there's all kinds of problems and incompetence. So when you come into positions of power, there's pressure on you to give favors. There's pressure on you to accumulate wealth for insecurity of the future and to pay back the debts that were accumulated before you came into power.
At the campaign?
Of course.
Yeah.
So how can you be corrupt? So when people get opportunities, it's not so much that they look at, oh, I'm going to be caught. The question is going to be, how do I justify what I'm doing in accordance with the law? If we don't accept this reality, then everything that we're doing is just a waste of time.
Wow. So how we take...
The first step is...
So to use what? Robots, machines, dissolve the office of special prosecutor? What do we do?
We start a conversation first of all to understand that where there's discretion.
Where there's any discretion.
There's a possibility of abuse. So let's minimize discretion in decision making.
Yeah, but the Constitution has done that.
The Constitution is...
In Article 295, I believe, it says that it regulates the use of discretion. It says that where a power has it shall not be capricious, it shall not be... It regulates it.
These are theories. I've read the Constitution millions, and I'm telling you, what is written is not what applies. What applies is what human beings use that text for. And when people are in positions of power, then there's this pressure, as I said, in the context of poverty, of corruption in the environment, justifications, for them to use the interpretations that they have to justify what they're doing. The Constitution says everybody shall be treated, and the Constitution shall be interpreted to benefit Ghanaians, right? But what does that mean? The first thing we have to do as a nation is to accept that law is enabling people in positions of power to use the law, to use the positions of power to benefit themselves. It's natural. Everywhere you go, So if we don't reduce the discretion of people, secrecy of people, the ability to make decisions in secrecy, in confidence, people will continue to use the positions of power to benefit themselves. So first, make sure you might minimize discretion by using machines and randomization.
Machines.
That's right.
To minimize discretion.
That's right. So when you're making a decision about a budget, it shouldn't be someone sitting down and say, okay, let's use this contractor, let's not use this contractor. Let the machines and algorithms
put it in a spreadsheet and it should pop up what we should be doing.
So that way you don't go prefer someone from house A to house B because you know that person. So relationships will matter, but on the level of professionalism, impartiality. But once you put discretion in, then corruptibility comes in. That's the first thing. Second thing is, things should be done in the open. You shouldn't have people in offices having secret budgets and then hiding how they're doing the things. It won't happen.
Yeah, but once you are electing people and giving them under the social contract, which was advanced by the
so Rousseau.
Bertrand Rousseau.
Yes.
Bertrand Rousseau's social contract, he says that the best way to organize a government is to have people, all the people, the best, cleanest way and the fastest way, all the people hand their power to one person.
It's not true. I mean, he's wrong.
Well, that's what he said.
I know he
and that's what we all operate on. Modern democracy is built on Rousseau's social contract.
Yes.
So that an elected president and also the other theories on no taxation without representation is built on Rousseau's contract. So fundamentally, the whole, from Greek philosophy up until now, politics of the metropolis, as in ancient Greece, is built on Rousseau's situation. So the social contract is we have power. We've given you the power. We expect you to use the power in a certain way.
But I'm saying to you now that Rousseau's theory of social contract and that you give it to a few people to run is, excuse me, with the greatest respect, it's completely flawed. Why? Because it leads to incompetence, it leads to corruption, and it's not possible for the few to run the system for the
I can agree with you, but I'm saying that has run the system for 100 years.
And that's why we have problems. So we have to revisit that
But
theory.
Europe runs the same situation.
But
they run Rousseau. America America more than anyone else runs
that's
Rousseau.
what they tell they run, but they don't run the system according to what Rousseau wrote. What they write there and what they do there is checks and balances where power is actually broken down into 1,000 pieces. It's not concentrated like it's concentrated here. Here, power is concentrated in the presidency, in the party, in the governance. No. In other places, for example, America and Europe, the rich people in a certain industry have their power. Educated people have their power. Religious people have their power. Smart people have their power. Artistic people have their power. And that power is not given to the government when they're elected. But here, the government takes the power when they're elected.
Let me take the text messages and I'll come to Dodo for that. Okay, so this is coming from Mr. A.B. Ajay. He's the former director of the public procurement and the global procurement expert. A.B. Ajay says as follows. He said the OSP under Kisia Jabin's incompetent leadership withdrew all 18 charges against Mr. A.B. Ajay on April. Okay, somebody's reporting to me about A.B. Ajay. Against A.B. Ajay on April 18, 2024 due to lack of credible evidence. They then clandestinely repackaged the same cases with 8 counts, seemingly to save face. Anticipating imminent embarrassment following the poor presentation of hearsay evidence by their star witness Manasseh Azuri, the OSP rushed to court this morning to announce the total withdrawal of all 18 counts against Mr. A.B. Ajay, similar to the Cecilia Dapa case. The OSP owes Ghanaians an explanation for discontinuing a case it touted as having compelling evidence. Such impulsive actions should be frowned upon, and the OSP should be held accountable for its approach. They have since filed an 8-count amended charge. Good evening, Paul. Okay, all right. I'm going to deal with it. OSP, Tuesday, you're in trouble with us. You have questions to answer. Don't worry, we'll get there. Well, let's all go and have a nice weekend, and we'll come on Tuesday. So you think we need a constitutional amendment for that?
Absolutely. We need a constitutional amendment, and we have
Are you proposing that in your book?
Yes, I say that. I said we should have to break power. Now when we have a concentrated power, a few people can actually decide for the whole nation. Why is it that, Paul, that every 4 years, a few people come into power and we hand over all the powers and properties and rights and interests in Ghana to them? Who are they? What's extreme?
Yeah, but we elected them for that purpose.
That system must change.
When we were electing them, we knew that if they were to win a 50% plus 1 of the count, this is what they would get.
Who wrote the Constitution? When you say we?
All Ghanaians did.
Let me tell you something.
Uh-huh.
You and I inherited a Constitution. We're born into it. We don't have anything about it. We just found it. That Constitution, which is we, is actually a few people that wrote it, a few people that put it together. What Ghanaians really need to do, a system of governance based on a constitution that's broken down, that decentralizes power, really. What we have is concentrated power in a constitution. Let's break it down. That's number one. Number two, Rousseau's idea of a few people taking over the country and running it is nonsense to me. They can never run a country. You can never run a country or company with a few people when millions of people are involved. And number 3, we should not hand over all our powers to a few people every 4 years. And number 4, the law is the enabler of the corruption. So we have to go revisit the law, look at the options and the loopholes available in the law that makes people corrupt and justify it. And then number 5, the culture that praises corrupt conduct and the effects of corrupt conduct, whether it's in the home, whether it's in the church, whether it's in the mosque, whether it's in the palace, where corrupt people are praised and then loved. And you say you want to fight corruption? How can you fight corruption with such nonsense attitudes like that?
I see. Dodu from Esiakwa. Let's start with running mate.
Yeah.
What do you want to say about it?
Okay, I think the running mate, Dr. Bawumia, should be, as you were saying, should be given chance to do his own selection. Because if you remember, in the 2000 election, President Kufuor selected his running mate on 8th September 2000 at when they were having their congress. That is where Alhaji Aliyu Mahama was selected.
That's when he was announced, I believe.
Yeah, that's where he was announced. That was 8th September 2000. Then I think Nana Akufo-Addo to 2008, when Dr. Bawumia came for the first time, it was around 16th August 2008. So I think.
But Nana Akufo-Addo didn't win 2008. So maybe the example. John Kufuor won in 2000. So you are saying that selecting a running mate September to December, it doesn't mean you won't win.
It doesn't mean you win or you will not win. It can even be selected a day before election and you win or you will not win. So I don't think the running mate should become an issue that people will be lobbying, people will be putting pressure, names will be popping up every day. But I'm surprised that there is one person that his name is not coming up. As for him, I'm surprised. I believe maybe his name should have come out.
Who?
Kala.
Kwabena Japan?
Yeah.
His name is in?
His name is in.
Well, people have talked about him.
Yeah, but it's not on top as...
Someone was telling me yesterday that he thinks that Kala should be the official campaign spokesperson. That he's a very powerful communicator, he has longevity, he has history.
Yeah, he has history. He has
and he merges the Kufuor people with the Akufo-Addo people. He belongs to both camps.
You know, in 1998, he was part of the Akufo-Addo team. Then in 2000, he became President Kufuor's press secretary. Then in 2007, he was the youngest among the 17. Then in 2010, he also supported Alan. 2014, he became the general secretary, which he has his own internal issue, which he has managed it well. He has done well to manage it. And I think he...
So you think he should be considered?
Yeah, he should also be considered.
Okay, let's go for the last round of text messages for tonight. Ladies, please get ready and let's see what people are saying. Okay, who am I starting with? Okay, hi, Antoinette.
Okay. Samson Bakutoma says, absolutely extraordinary and stunning submission by Prof. Nana Opong. For if he ceases to become a lawyer, obviously mean that he must be one of the smartest and intelligent lawyers in the world. His submission attests to this. I'm deeply in love with his submission. Kudos. General L. Coleman says, the problem in Ghana is most people or institutions actually use illegalities to fight illegalities, so corruption can never be relegated. Kojo says, Prof seems to actually not know what he might be talking about. You can actually prove guilt without tangible evidence. It's been done in almost all developed countries. Sam Adams says, this is such a brilliant submission, Prof. And corruption is a systematic issue. And he goes to say that Prof is very good.
We have Clement saying, Ghana's educational sector has really improved with the help of Dr. Yao Idichum and his ministry, but some Ghanaians do not want to accept this truth. We have some people also commenting on the sports segment saying, this sports guy is doing well tonight, well done, mate. And Solomon is also saying, Shirley Bank on Chelsea. Thank you.
All right, Bismarck Bosom Pim says there should be a repeat of this program on Metro TV. Please work on that poll. And from our sponsors, Lifts and Elevators, enjoy the fruits of your labor, they say, but as humans, aging and physical infirmity stands our way of enjoying our mansions and homes. It often becomes challenging, if not impossible, to use our stairways day in and out. Worry no more, because with portable American pneumatic vacuum elevators, PVEs, you are sure of unlimited enjoyment of your mansions and homes. It is a simple-to-use, self-supported elevator for vertical movement for humans and goods at homes and offices. The original comes in 3 custom-made models with wheelchair accessibility to choose from. You may call it luxury, but it is very necessary imperative for vertical mobility. Do not let aging or infirmity limit you. Get one for your easy vertical mobility at home or office. It is affordable and can be installed within 3 days with modification to your building. Visit Lift and Elevators Ghana at Sakumono for your solutions and free consultations. Call us on 0200-535-515 or email at elevatorsgh@gmail.com. Internet.
Yes. So Blue Jeans Energy Drink has been on the Ghanaian market for over 20 years. We already know what it does for the body. It contains vitamins and nutrients like vitamin B2, B3, B6, B12, and as well as taurine and guarana, which are known to boost your strength and energy, as well as promote high performance and endurance. Blue Jeans Energy Drink has been tested and tried. It is indeed the best. Blue Jeans Energy Drink is for bold and active men and women, so go on, grab a cold can and power your day. It's in shops nationwide. For bulk purchases, kindly contact Budget Cash and Carry Limited on 0208-128-190 or 055-001-0000. Now back to you, Paul.
Okay, it's time to close, but Prof, give us a final word.
I think it's a brilliant program, and Paul, you're doing wonderful.
We can do something more on Tuesday.
You're doing wonderful. I think we should continue to talk about issues that matter to the country: politics, corruption, development, peace, brotherhood. One of the things that I find is interesting is white countries we don't usually have is duty of care. Mm-hmm. We lack a lot of duty of care in this part of the world, and your work and the works of similar people working is just a show of duty of care. You care, continue to care.
Thank you. Dodu, final word.
Okay, I think my final word is that we should all allow the man we should give him enough time to do his own thinking so that he come out with the best.
All right, viewers on Metro TV, you lost us at some points, but on social media, you still have us. That's it for this edition of Good Evening Ghana. We have a football weekend coming up. Premier League is on. Ghana Premier League is on. English Premier League is on. And the FA Cup final at Wembley. Dodu, who's going to win the FA Cup?
I believe Manchester City will win and win the league.
So they win the double?
Yeah, they will win a double.
Not a treble this season?
No, not a treble. They will win a double.
Okay. Thanks for watching. How can we get the book, though? How can people get the book to read?
We can make it available through your...
Okay, so Tuesday I'll put the book on so they can... Is it on Amazon already?
No, it's not, but I can make
it. But
it
they can link that they can look at it and read it.
Okay, and they can download it for free as well.
Yeah, and it's 70 pages.
Yes.
Very, very well done. How many words?
Oh, I haven't checked the words, but 70 pages.
Okay. Okay, but it's 70 pages. Yes. At 22 minutes past 11 o'clock. This is Good Evening Ghana. Thanks for watching, viewers. Good night.